Beneath the warm glow of a single desk lamp, a hidden world comes alive. In the quiet of night, when the tailor has gone home, tiny workers, no larger than a spool of thread, gather around a grand blueprint. Their mission, to create the most magnificent gown ever seen. The work begins in the heart of the fabric quarry, with pickaxes as sharp as needles and ropes as thin as spider silk. The Tailor-Mites mine the ivory thread from giant spools, as if harvesting gold from ancient cliffs. Nearby, a team struggles to tame a winding blue zipper, like wrestlers battling a stubborn serpent. From atop a polished button, a foreman bellows orders, trying to keep the line straight. On the edge of the vast fabric plain, a lone worker studies the markings of a worn leather tape measure. With a tiny magnifying glass, he confirms each fraction of an inch, because even the smallest error could topple their dream. The first pieces of the bodice are raised and pinned like great sails on a ship's mast. Towering sewing needles act as temporary beams, holding the vision in place. A bright yellow toy crane swings a cut swath of fabric high into the air. On the ground below, workers pull at the guiding ropes, their feet digging into the soft cloth as they steer the load toward the waiting dress form. Tall ladders rise like scaffolding beside the mannequin. Workers climb steadily, preparing to stitch a vertical seam with a needle as long as a javelin, binding the dress's heart together. High above the floor, the engine of creation, the antique sewing machine, groans to life. One worker oils the mighty gears, while another feeds a thick rope of thread through its metal maw, ready to pierce the fabric below. The skirt, vast as a rolling meadow, is unrolled and arranged by dozens of careful hands. With tiny rollers, they press the pleats flat, coaxing the fabric into perfect, flowing waves. Steam hisses as a glowing thimble, repurposed as an iron, is dragged across the fabric by a crew of pole bearers. The air shimmers with heat as the gown takes on its flawless, smooth shape. Under a cluster of lamplight, a team inspects a button the size of a dinner plate, polishing it to perfection. Every detail matters in this world of miniature craftsmanship. At the sleeve's edge, nimble fingers weave lace as fine as spiderwebs. They climb through its intricate patterns like explorers charting a delicate jungle. At the mannequin's towering neck, ribbons are tightened and tied with ceremony. The faceless giant stands still, the silent guardian of their creation. Beneath the skirt's great shadow, a line of workers kneels to fold and stitch the final edge. Their glow-in-the-dark thread shimmers faintly in the dim light, sealing the gown's final secret. Not a scrap is wasted. A toy tow truck rumbles past, hauling away discarded bits of cloth like boulders cleared from a mine. At last, the lead Tailor-Mite climbs to the mannequin's shoulder. From this high perch, he surveys the completed gown, a river of ivory flowing in the lamplight, then nods in approval. Tiny beams from handheld flashlights sweep across the fabric's folds, searching for the smallest imperfection. Satisfied, the crew lowers their lights. Their work complete, the Tailor-Mites gather on the empty spool of thread. They raise miniature mugs in quiet celebration, their faces glowing with pride and exhaustion. The gown now stands on the rack, its ivory sheen bright against the shadows of darker dresses beside it. A masterpiece, born from unseen hands. When dawn breaks, the Tailor-Mites vanish without a trace. Only the gown remains, perfect, silent, radiant. A single tiny tool, left behind on the fabric's edge, whispers the truth. that sometimes the greatest creations are made by those the world never sees.